Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farming Simulator 19 here on the Hagenstedt map. Let's get back to reliving the glory days. I'm going to give it a little bit of an overlap. It's supposed to be 3 meters wide, so we go 2.95 meters wide, so it's got a little tiny bit of an overlap so that we definitely know what's going on with that. I said agro plough. I'm just going to overwrite on that one. It's the right one to use, isn't it? Because that's a new one right there. So I just edit that one, just modify that one. It should be fine. There, right. I've now got that saved. So now I can lift that out and I can bring you back over this way. We'll see where that one winds up. Yeah, I actually quite like that line right there. That's a good line to start with, I think. I'll bring it to about that point right there. So, Alt-X, that locks it in place. Control-Y to allow create fields. And then V. I don't know why I'm busy telling you every single button I'm pressing on my keyboard, but that's where we're at right now. And I'll run that one all the way up through here. So I'm doing 19K. And it's doing a brilliant job. It's handling 19K as well. It's doing a good job with it. I like this. So I'll bring you on a little bit. Now, this is the bit there we've got to be careful because I can't go... I can go up to the edge of that road, but I can't go any further than that. So I'm going to do a run now down this side. I'm going to try and keep it on the edge of the road right here. So I'm going to go back into this one like this. There, and then rotate by 90 degrees. Escape back. Right, there. Perfect. And that should be... Oh. That might be too far out. You know what we need to do? We need to do Alt page down. Yes, Alt page down. So I'll bring that one back in. So that, I think, is going to be a little bit better if I sort of drop it in on there. And then I can run that back over to about there. I'm thinking maybe this tree here is possibly potentially in a way. I mean, it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be any kind of problem. And then you are overlapping a little bit on the line. Well, it's only doing it on that bit over there. Right, hopefully this is not going to tell us that we cannot use that piece of the road. I'm hoping that it will allow us to come out that far. That's going to give us a nice, clean edge on the field all the way down through here. And that's the bit there where we would use as like a forestry ramp to access the forestry. This right here, it is allowing us to go this far to get in as tight to it. That's fantastic. That means that we have got the right spot on here. Very pleased with that. And I'm just going to go to the other side of the road. I'm not actually going to go right into the bank over there. I only want to go as far as the road. And this 19K is absolutely fan-schmastic. Right, that's as far as I'm going. Right there. That's the outside edge of the field. So next we want to go back through here. And then I want to 90 degree that one once more. And that's spot on perfect. That's where I want that one to go. So now we can reverse him back out. Now bring him to this corner. There. Like that. Right, it's not quite gone right out to the corner, but you know what? I'm not going to worry too much about the clean edges on the corners of the field. I do get a little bit sort of OCD sometimes about them you know, having the perfect clean corners on the edge of the field, but not all the time. I don't tend to overly worry about it. Now, again, we're coming up with a requirement there for lime, but as I said before, we absolutely don't need to worry about that. That is not going to be a concern in the slightest. Okay, let's lift that one out. And we'll do exactly the same again. We will rotate that by 90 right there. Come out of that. Now, this one I am going to need to adjust. I want to bring that out a little bit. It definitely doesn't want to go out that far. but I also don't want it there, so I'm going to... Oh, Alt page up. There, just on the edge of the road. That's where I want it. There, just on the edge of the road, like that. That's absolutely perfect. So then all I got to do is just fill in these lines all the way down through. So let's bring you back about there, I think. It's going to be a bit too far. That's better. Right. And start you racing up across here. So that, the barley field here to our right, that has now been planted. The one at the top, he's busy working on that field at the moment. So once I've done a little bit over this side, I could actually start that vehicle there, planting this field with barley. We don't need to worry about going and putting fertilizer on anything, because we've got our first coat of fertilizer already down on all fields that are going to need it. So it's literally just wait for the planting to get finished. And I've only got to plough around the outside edges. The actual field itself is having already been done. We're not going to need to worry about that bit at all. So all I need to do is get this done here. So let's... Ooh, steady. There, like that. And then I can start, like, if I can get this done out here a little bit, I can then have a tractor working up and down this side of the field, and like just doing full lengths of the field. We can do that. That can work. We can definitely have it done like that without any trouble. Send you up here. I need another drink a minute. I don't know if there's slightly rough patches in the field, or if it's just the like kind of the ground response thing, because I'm quite close to the edge of the plough line. It is leaning the tractor right over like that. And with the speed I'm doing, it's making it kind of bounce a little bit. So far, though, it hasn't caused any issues with actual straight plough lines, so I'm counting that as a good thing. And I am kind of thinking it would be a good idea if I was to do the passes along this top end before I start anyone doing any drilling. So if I go up here and I quickly rotate that bit around there, like that, and then do that, lower that in. If I get this bit along the top end done, then I can start someone running up and down this field, and they're not going to get hung up on anything. It might be a little bit difficult for them doing the turns at this top end with the tree in the way, but I'm thinking it's probably going to be alright. Just so long as I've got the bulk of it out of the way. And then I can, like, finish off this piece over here, and then I can have another, like, the second tractor can come back in and start to, like, do a little bit more tidy up as we go through. I think that will work out just fine. Now, let's just dump you in there, because I can do longer runs on the other side. This will require a couple more passes up here. The one at the top, let's make that one a bit bigger. How's he doing? He's, what, halfway through the field now? A bit more than halfway through the field up there. He seems to be doing well, regardless. Swivel you round. What have I got? I got three passes left on this. This 19k ploughing is absolutely fantastic. I'm very glad I've gone for this, because the last time I did the ploughing, it ended up getting tedious. It took us like a full week, I think, of just ploughing, and I did have a few people saying, look, I know that you need to do the job, but this is a bit tedious. Get a square one, get a wider machine going as well, just like speed it up. I'm hoping that this will address all of those issues. Like, we're still doing the ploughing, we're still getting it done, but we're just speeding up the process a little bit so that we can concentrate on just moving forward and keeping things going. And you know what? I think this whole adjusting the working speed thing should be a standard mod for the entire. I'm really like this mod is what has been missing from my gameplay. This is absolutely what has been missing from my gameplay. Look at it. I know it's not realistic. I don't care. I absolutely don't care at all. This is brilliant. I love this. I absolutely love it. This is fantastic. Now we can actually get these jobs done. Like, I've still done the ploughing. You still experienced the ploughing. You got to experience the whole thing. But instead of me having to sit there and just slowly go through, you know, like normal ploughing would, like that. Yeah, I'd still be crawling up the side over there. Right? Instead of any of that nonsense, look, whoosh and we're done. There. So much better. That's more than half as much again on the speed, because we're set at 12k on this one. We're more than half as much again with ploughing. I mean, with things like the forage wagon, that already does 20k. So that one, in theory, will be able to race across the field at 27 kilometers an hour. I'm not even sure it's going to be able to pick the material up doing 27k, in which case we'd have to modify it and bring the speed down a little bit. Quite frankly, that is a sacrifice that I am willing to make. I am more than happy to have to make adjustments to sort of cater to that. Let's just swivel you around a bit like that. And you in the right spot? There. Is that in the right place for it? I think it is, yes. Excellent. Right, that is fantastic. We'll get down to the other end of the field here, and then I will get that seed drill right there. I will bring it over here, and I will start it running up and down here. I'm not going to bother cultivating. I know, well, actually, you know, this is an argument that we've had on and off. Some places cultivating would be required after ploughing. Other places, that direct drill over there would already be able to break the ground down enough. If this was a light sandy soil, it would be fine. If this was a heavy clay soil, then yes, we probably would have to do some extra work. But most of the time, I do the cultivating. Chances are in real life, I would not be working quite as many farms with heavy clay soil as I appear to do in this game. So I think it's absolutely fine for us to change that over, just, you know, occasionally. Let's bring you over there like that. You can pause. And how are you doing up here? You're literally on your last pass now. Ideal. That is fantastic. We're cooking on gas now, ladies and gentlemen. This is brilliant. Right, I'll just bring you over there a second. I want to double check that you do actually have barley all the way through, and we don't have a bit of wheat left anywhere. We don't. That's good. So those two are done. The little one over there is done, and we've now got the big field over here that we're about to start planting, and that is going to be barley as well. So we got lots and lots of barley, which means that once the barley is harvested, we're also going to be getting lots and lots of straw. We've got some grain in storage at the moment that we can go and sell. That's not really going to be enough to make any groundbreaking changes to anything. I am a little bit... F has completed their task. I'm a little bit concerned about the step just on the edge of the field right there. That may be a little bit too much of a step. I don't know. Why did you go that far up before you lowered down? You shouldn't have done that. Like, what was your purpose in doing that? There was no need for that. There was no call for that nonsense. Into the field and do the job properly. Right, you go doing that. You stay there a minute. You over here, I need you to actually start working again. We'll drop you in here. We need to, as quickly as we can now, scratch out this piece on the end here, because otherwise that tractor over there is going to run out of land to work on. So we want to scratch this through nice and quick, as efficiently as we can with our mega speed plough. I love this thing. It's brilliant. Definitely going to be needing to do some more changes. I'd like to try and get a faster forage wagon. I think that's possibly going to be the next thing that I go for, is a speedy forage wagon, because that means we can pick up the straw a bit faster. Ooh, no, the fertilizer spreader. That's a slow job, isn't it? fertilizer spreading is a bit of a slow, old, pokey job. I think we need to be doing that one. Right, we are definitely going to have to go and help this one out. I'm going to need to move you. You are going to have to move out of the way. We'll scoot you down over here. Like that. You can go over there. I'll shut you off. And I go to this one. So going to move you out of the way. I'm going to get that trailer hooked on. I've got to... Yes. No, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to bring you back like that and hook you on so that you can move up here out of the way. And then I can unhitch that one and move forward like that. Right, please start engine first. Engine's already started. And I'll go over here. So I kind of need to, like, get a little bit of ground done here. I'll have to do a couple of passes like this so that I've got enough room for that tractor to come back. We're running out. So I'm really racing against the clock right here. Let's scratch out a bit here for him. I'll do like 3 passes like this. I should think would be enough. Maybe 4. Not quite sure. 3 may be enough for him. Is that looking like it's enough? Might be enough there. I'll do another scrape down through here. That should do it. Right. That'll be enough just to keep him going for a second. And then I can go in here and just get going on there. Bring that one up and back you back this way. And get this line here. And then we've just got the bit down that side to do. I'll go and get the other tractor once I've finished doing all of the ploughing in here. I want to get all this ploughing done. We got 20,000 euros at the moment. Now, we've only got a small fertilizer spreader. What I was doing with that fertilizer spreader was I was using that one in the fields. It's only small, and because we've now got the hired help buys all of the seed and stuff as it goes along, including fertilizer, I don't have to keep running back to the yard to load it up. I've done that. I did do that to start with, like on the first couple of runs in the game. We've already experienced going back and refilling the fertilizer spreader, yada yada yada. We don't need to worry about it anymore. So I'm kind of thinking that we take our fertilizer spreader to the dealership, we sell it, and we buy one that goes 7k faster, because the fertilizer spreading is a dull old job. It's not an exciting job at all. I definitely want to get that one sort of sped up. We've already got the Merge Max machine in there for rowing up the straw together, so we do get through the straw pretty quickly. So if we're not able to speed up our forage wagon just yet, it's not the end of the world, right? That's something that we can cope with, and we'll sort of learn to deal with that. Let's bring you over here and put that back in that way. There we go. Right, that one there, and off we go. Last line up through there. So that's all of that bit done on the fields. That's looking a lot better. And now all I got to do is the other long runs all the way down through. And then once we've done that, I get the other tractor down here and he can start working the other end. Actually, I'm thinking I'll get the other tractor next. Actually, I will. That's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to get the other tractor next. I'm going to bring that one down, and I'm going to let that one do a couple of passes along this bottom end of the field here, just to like move it back from the barn so that they can turn properly. So let's just bring. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna first up. I'm gonna just bring you in here and line you in there like that, and drop you in there, and then just extend that out to the corner of the field, which is there. That's what I want to do with that bit. And I'll do another pass on there like that, and another as well. That's just going to give a little bit of an extra kind of run on there for the other tractor. So back you round over there. So let's stop you there. I'll go and get this other tractor. Ah, look. So we're going to need to do something similar on here as well. Like I've got a little tiny patch where that tree is slightly in the way on the end of the field. But if I'm working around the end of the field anyway, like normally I would be going around the field in a circuit before I do anything there. So that shouldn't really be an issue. In future, that shouldn't really be an issue up there. And it's this one up here. Alright, let me get this down to the field. I'm going to take this one here, and what I'm actually going to do is a couple of passes just along this bottom edge right here, so that it can turn a little bit easier when it comes up to the barn, when it's working up and down the field. And then as soon as I've done that, I'm literally just going to go up there, turn around and go back again. And then as soon as that's done, we'll bring it about halfway along the field and then just set it going with hired help. And ooh, I tell you what, let's go to this one a second, and I could do the same up here. Just bring you back along here. I need to just keep a half an eye on that one. He's doing his turning round over there. He's possibly going to get into a little bit of trouble with the machine at that end, but honestly I don't really care. He'll be fine, he'll work it out. And then you're going to go along there, and I'm just going to press H on there and let you do that bit. He should be able to go along there without any issues. And then you over here, you've turned around. It's because of the tree that was in the way there. That's what's caused that to have a slight issue, was that tree. And then you come down to the end down here. Then I can set you going, working up and down the field, and I will keep going the other way. Right, so then I will stop that. I can bring you round. I can set you going, and actually, yeah, I will. I'll set this one going right in the middle. I'm going to bring him over here somewhere, and I'm going to put you going about there. Helper G has gone and got himself blocked by an object up that end, because it was far too much like hard work to just turn round, you know, using the reverse function. I mean, there is a gear there that you could have used to do the whole reversing thing. So let's go back up to you. Up. What were you thinking? Seriously, what were you thinking? On what planet was that a sensible move to make? I mean, seriously. You really got to question the wisdom of these guys sometimes. And yes, I'm on a new recording run, so I do need to just change that back to euros. And then everything else should be fine on that. Right, you've gone and got yourself wedged up here somehow, some way. I'm not quite sure what exactly you did, but there we go. We have freed you up, and then, you know what, I'm not going to bother doing another pass along here. I'm going to just hope that I've got enough on here as it is, because that will go up, and it's not quite going to get stuck by the tree, and then it's going to reverse itself round. So I'll scoot in around there like that. He's turning himself round already, and yeah, they are going to go up onto that bank a bit, but I'm kind of willing to live with that at this stage. So if I bring you over to there and set the hired help going again, that one should be fine going down through there. And I also really like that the other one is going in this direction instead of back in that direction, because that means that they should have roughly equal amounts on the field. Right, so now we can get over to here. We've got our new plough with the faster speed on it, which is absolutely awesome. So I want to go Control S into there, and I've already got the aggro plough setting on there like that, so I can, there we go, he's already right on there. So I just need to rotate that round by 90 degrees there, and I do kind of need to move, well, actually, no, I don't need to move it over, because if I go, yeah, that will actually be just fine. So I will put it down onto that one. I go Alt-X right on there. I need to set it to create fields. We've got our faster plough on here. We're using the mod that alters the speed of the vehicles if we want them to. For this series, I'm not too concerned about realism. I've said that before, and I'll say it again. It doesn't really matter. That's not the point of this series. I'm literally just chilling, playing a game, having a bit of fun. Speeding things up here and there so that I get tasks done rather than worrying about precise realism. I am using... Well, actually, by the time you watch this episode, you'll already seen another week of Erlingrat episodes. So, yeah, I'm planning to use it on there, and I probably will have talked to you a bit about that by now, because I've had some feedback coming from that one. But that's that series, not this one. That series is realism. That one we do go for it a bit more. This one, I'm not really concerned about it. So we're going to just bring you in over here and get this last little patch done on here like this. And we go forward a bit more and drop into there like that. And away we go with a whoosh. And that's got that one done very nicely in there. So that's all of this field done. We've now got another new field. Now, I did originally say that I wasn't going to do more than 200,000 in loan. And then I went and broke that rule. Rules in this series are not hard and fast. You know, I'm not going to uphold those the rules that I make religiously, because I feel that this series we can allow quite a bit of flexibility. It does depend on how gameplay is progressing. But, I mean, the one thing I did want to say is the actual ploughing bit. I mean, there are going to be other machines that we're going to use that are going to be chugging along at a fair old rate, and it's not going to be particularly realistic, I don't think. But this machine going along at that kind of speed, that is realistic. I have actually seen stuff like that myself in real life, these things going a lot faster than you would think they could. I mean, yes, admittedly, he did have a vibrator attached to the top of it. He'd made a modification, the person who was using it, had a vibrator on the top of it there, and so that was run off of the PTO, and that would help it glide through the ground that much faster. It was highly effective. It really was. It was a really, really effective machine. And you go racing along, and he had a big old bruise on his forehead there one day, and I asked him about that. I said, what on earth did you do? Did you tell your wife you didn't like her cooking or something? And he sort of laughed. He said, no. I put the clutch down while the plough was still in the ground. He'd done it. He said he hadn't. He didn't even think about it. He'd been lifting it up, but he'd sort of come to the end of the row and it was a bit rough, so he just put the clutch down, and the tractor was going along. It goes at a very good speed when it had that vibrator in it, and it was racing along, and he dipped the clutch. The tractor stopped and it kept going. It went right forward. He said the steering wheel winded him, and his forehead, he sort of folded over, the steering wheel winded him, he kind of folded over the steering wheel and smacked his face into the front of the cab. And he did the job properly. There's no denying he definitely did the job properly. You know, he was never one to do things by halves, and he properly smacked his face right into it in there, and it looked brilliant. The bruise was something to be admired. That was a bruise to be admired. It really was. And yeah, he said, I probably won't. I never did actually get to use it, and he did just warn me, don't ever dip the clutch with the machine in the ground. Right? Make sure you lift it out of the ground before you dip the clutch. It doesn't matter if you're bouncing across rough tram lines. Don't dip the clutch. Whatever you do, do not dip the clutch. You slow it down if you think to, or just lift it out of the ground, but don't dip the clutch, because he said you will instantly regret it. It was absolutely fantastic. I really wish I could have seen it, though. And I said that to him. I said, look, I mean this with every fibre of my being. Kind of, you know, I'm glad that you weren't seriously hurt and you didn't have to go to hospital. But other than that, this has got to be one of the funniest things I've heard. And my only regret is that I didn't get to see it firsthand. Yeah, he swore at me when I said that. It wasn't serious. We weren't being horrible to each other. But yeah. I never actually got to see it firsthand, and it would have been so beautiful just to see that, just to see the person go slamming into the front of the tractor just because they dipped the clutch on their machine. Oh, that would have been a beautiful sight. But anyway, that's how I know that plough, at least, is realistic. If you like put a modification on plough, you can go. Well, unfortunately, folks, that is all we have got time for today. And for those of you wondering, the paid promotion notification that came up at the beginning of the video is because in the description down below, you will find a link to Fanatical. I have an affiliation with them. If you use that link, I will earn a small commission on anything that you choose to purchase. But that is all we have got time for, so if you have enjoyed the episode, then please head down below and give us a like, and if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me, get them to come and watch as well, that would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching, this is Frithgar, goodbye, and see you later.